welcome to Screenhops Podcast episode 11. Today we're going to be talking about some more EA stuff, some Valve stuff, and a little section called Too Little Too Late. So we'll start off with the most hot topic, which is still a pretty hot topic, which is EA and microtransactions.
Specifically in Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yes,
That
Star
is
Wars Battlefront 2.
a big part of this whole
mess.
Yeah.
Kind of like the ship head for all the microtransaction crap that's going on, really, in gaming.
Yeah.
So, recently, EA released a statement, or at least an analyst from KeyBank. His name is Evan Wingren. He released a statement saying that basically taking the microtransaction isn't actually going to affect any of their profits or their margins or whatever. Which led to Lucasfilm jumping in and Disney jumping in saying, we're glad that you took that out. Because, basically just trying to save face for EA's mistake. And, yeah.
I more got the impression that they were, upset with EA because of all this negative backlash going on with
Disney and Lucas
with Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
That's...
Because it's under the Star Wars brand, they're just like, oh, we're super glad that you kind of...
Which...
In the article that we read, it was like, we're glad that they took them out. We're all about the fans, but it was in that weird condescending way, like a parent.
I got it more... The vibe I got from it was more like they're upset with EA,
they're upset.
The way EA's done
they're just
things.
trying... But they can't go out and say, we disown EA, stuff like that. They can't do that, so...
Yeah, in a business way,
Yeah.
I called it. Say to Disney, be like, hey, Disney, this is fucking up your company. This is fucking up your title. I called it last time.
He did. You can check out that episode on our channel.
But
anyway.
Episode 6, right? No.
10? Last episode?
Episode
Max.
6 was for something completely different.
Max,
Hold on.
please. Max. What? 6? What? That wasn't even a thing.
Boy.
It was last episode.
Last episode,
Check
out last episode. He caught it a week ago. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Thinking of something else entirely.
Anyway.
Apparently.
Lucas and Disney were both... They said that it was for the fans and fans should come first, and that EA fucked it up. The analyst is under EA's pay, first off. He's listed on their website under that firm specifically. So he's I
think you're jumping ahead.
Ahead? Am I?
We didn't really talk about that.
She already brought up the analyst.
Oh, I did.
You brought up the analyst, but you didn't say why this is so controversial.
But basically, okay, so bringing it in. Basically what the analyst said in a statement along whatever statement was that basically he just said, gamers are actually being undercharged. They should be overcharged, and he rattled off a bunch of numbers and things like that. And
compared it to going to the movie theater and versus buying a video game. That is how he justified saying that gamers are underpaying rather than
which, I mean,
being overcharged.
It's about the same. If anybody's gone to the movies recently,
yeah,
you pay about the same amount to go to movies with you and a friend, or you and your family. Literally pay about
or you and your girlfriend.
Well, he analyzed it in terms of hours and stuff. So he said it was you pay 33 cents an hour for a video game, whereas on average you're paying something like $5 an hour for a movie.
For a free to play game that works. For a free to play game that would kind of be correct. Free to plays are completely different.
I feel like he
at the
was
same
also
time.
only including games where it's I paid the $60 and that's all I paid.
Yeah.
Instead of games like Battlefront or any other game that is coming out now where it's okay, $60, but also bump it up to $120 if you want this expansion and this thing and this thing and this thing. I think he didn't also include that.
The big controversy is more that he's under EA's pay.
And he presented this. He presented. The first thing that Asia talked about,
and the people who wrote the article personally, because they could have easily said, "Hey, this guy also works specifically for EA through KeyBank," but instead they just said KeyBank's analyst, who was a third-party person consulting for EA or whatever, just has this opinion, but he actually does directly work with EA, so it works in his favor to say these things.
Mm-hmm.
And to save face for not only the company he works for, KeyBank, but also
the other
people
company
who are
he works
hiring
for.
them.
The company who's paying him.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
And, like, he's directly listed on EA's website, too. He's not... It's not like KeyBank and then, like, maybe the division he's under. It's KeyBank, his name. He's directly associated with it. So he's just... He's an idiot.
So his opinion is obviously skewed.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
That's basically all it is.
It's just...
His reputation is now going down.
For this, so...
He's an idiot.
Yeah, but Tony, the thing that's shady about this whole situation is that he presented his information as if he was like a third party, not affiliated with anything, and he's getting paid by EA to make these things.
And what's even worse is that... Alright, so say you work HP at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say HP had a similar scandal where they found out that they were overcharging for some of their products or something. Mm-hmm. Let's say you say that they're doing everything right and that actually they should have charged more to Staples.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you said that. How would Staples go about that with HP? They'd probably never hire you again. They'd never hire HP products again.
Probably.
It's similar to that, except worse, because now his entire firm will have a negative connotation, especially since it wasn't mentioned
really, though?
in the
It was an
article.
opinion that he didn't have to share, really.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, no, it was information that he was paid by EA to research into, and so...
Well, no, not that part, essentially. The part that I can understand him coming out and saying is the part, like, saying that their margins and things in the stock exchange and then basically just patting their investors on the back saying it's gonna be okay. Like, that's fine, because that's his job.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's his job. But the part where he went into, like, oh, like, games are actually underpriced and things like that, that was just an opinion that really, like, he didn't have to share that at all. Like, it was just... and again, it seems like EA is kind of, like, spitting in our face saying, like,
if he
I'm
hadn't
doing
said
you a
that,
favor, kind of thing.
If he had just kept quiet and just been like, we're doing fine, company's fine, everything, like, we messed up, that's it. If he had been done there, everything would have been crystal clear.
Yeah.
But him putting his opinion in there, just...
Or the opinion at EA or whatever spurred him to, like, further go into it.
We keep saying opinion, but he did research. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's fact, but it is research.
It's a research
So...
It's research, so it's well done. I will give him that.
Basically. But the other thing is that my only problem with this is that he didn't specify, oh, hey, by the way, I'm getting paid by EA to say this. Like, that is my only issue with this whole thing, is that he presented it as if it was just kind of like, just did some research.
Outside source.
Yeah.
And it was also on, like, the person who created the article, because they say nothing about his affiliation with EA, which I'm sure...
To be fair,
like,
as a journalist...
2-second, like, research. It's part of your job, though. Especially for,
to
what
be
was it,
fair,
on PC Gamer?
as a lazy journalist...
As a journalist, that is something they should have covered, but at the same time, it's one of those things where they might have been paid by EA, and that's a journalism company. That's just company business for journalism, so that's fine.
I would be extremely disappointed in PC Gamer if they did that.
I guess, but then in a way,
the way
it's
their
them
writing
just
is
being
done.
Like
For
neutral
them-
in the sense
for
they have to show both sides in order for it to
For them, it's just being a business.
Yeah.
For the analyst, he fucked up. Like, that's going to affect his everything with him. But
See,
for a journalism
hold
company,
on.
they're just like...
You can't say that it is necessarily the analyst's fault. There's a lot of people that could be at fault for this thing. Obviously somebody fucked up because...
They gave him the okay to do said interview, and they gave the okay for
him to say that.
Right, on the journalist to ask said questions that led him to these things. I mean, it's a chain.
Yeah.
Where somebody had to have said, like, maybe not. Let's not do
somebody's
this.
had to have
It's
messed up.
definitely
But then
a
it
chain.
definitely was outvoted.
You can't
probably.
just blame the analyst and be like, oh, it's that guy's fault, right?
But that's what's probably unfortunately going to happen is them publishing his name, he then becomes the next figurehead in this. Like, come for him.
Yeah, his name's already been published in, where did you steal that
Imager.
from? Yeah, Imager, so...
Which is,
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of people on there.
So he's probably going to get crucified by the internet. But,
It's more that he could have just been down low. Could have been like, no, I won't take your money to say that. If there was something like that, he could have just said no comment on some of the questions. Like, that's completely fair, but he didn't.
That's not what he's getting paid to say these things.
He could have just turned down the money and said no comment.
He's just gonna turn down some money. Like that's.
I just turned down the money to keep my reputation.
That's not.
I feel like for some people,
we've missed.
Yeah, I feel like for some people, like think of like an analyst is like he probably has no idea about this world. He's just doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
He sees numbers and this is all he does. So like he doesn't understand the scope of what he said and how that's gonna blow back on him. It's probably that's what it is. That's probably what it was. It's like he's just like, oh, cool. I'm gonna get a bonus for saying this, no problem.
Yeah.
But like in his head, like no one around him or anything that, especially like the company at all, is probably thinking, oh, you know, he's just gonna say this thing. It's not even gonna be a big thing. They'll use it as a snippet, not a whole article going into depth about what this guy said and wording it in a way that creates that outrage culture. So I don't know. I mean, he just was trying to do his job.
It's a bunch of minor things stacking up to him.
But unfortunately, that's the media. So he just kind of fell in the rabbit trap. Unfortunately.
People threw the bait and he took it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tony, you have anything?
I mean, that's EA shit.
Good contribution.
I mean, I'm not getting the game at all, so I don't really see why I should bother.
Yeah. Well,
I can't think of anything.
So I don't really have an opinion because of that reason.
Well, I think it's more so. I think people are really more outraged because it's like with the microtransaction thing being such a big thing, it was like EA just had to be like this big name that kind of like fits the figure of it. Like, and so now it's just not. It's not necessarily. I mean, there's plenty of people who probably are just like, oh, I'm not even gonna get the game in the first place. But it's because this is gonna impact like everything that's gonna go forward in gaming in general. Because this is only like, it's kind of like PewDiePie and the apocalypse. It's like that one little thing at the wrong time. Causes massive wave tsunami effect of the apocalypse. So it's just like EA doing this is that same thing where it's just like, oh, there's like ripples here and there of the microtransaction thing, but now that EA's put their face on it, now it's like this huge big thing. Unfortunately. And you can see the blowback with Cyberpunk 2077 devs. They're now under the scope because they're like, oh, we're going to have multiplayer in our game. And, of course, everybody just jumped
No, they said something along the lines of specifically...
They didn't
continuous want to something... What was it? Like continuous...
Games nowadays need multiplayer is what they said.
No. They said something specifically that had people alarmed along the lines of, like... generating continuous revenue from
something along
they
didn't want it to build, which a lot of developers don't want to spend all this money on a game and then like people not play it in 2 years. They kind of just throw it on the shelf. Yeah, that's what he said. He was like, he wanted to continue the revenue and the hype for basically pull a GTA, like, and keep it going after the game has come out. So, I mean, I guess which is fair, but everybody just immediately was like, took that as, microtransactions.
They were all like
microtransactions. Everyone immediately jumped to microtransaction, which they haven't fully said whether there will or won't be. They just said they're going to do that for the fan. They're going to make sure that whatever.
Actually, what they said was even more confusing because they were basically like, so expect The Witcher 3, single player and all kinds of other stuff, and it was just kind of like, so you said something about multiplayer though. Why are you saying? Single player now.
Because I think they mess themselves up, but at the same time, they're trying not to get caught in the storm as well. They're like, honestly, we just want to make our game. We don't want to say the wrong thing and have immediately before our even game gets out, people are like, oh, I don't want to get it.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is it's a language barrier because they are. I think it's a Polish-based company.
Because The Witcher is Polish.
They're like, oh, I have no idea.
The Witcher is Polish.
Yeah, The Witcher is based on a 1989 story from Poland, and they're a Polish company who was like, damn, that's pretty good.
CD Projekt Red is a Polish company. Which is why my credit card company doesn't support GOG, but you know.
Microtransactions.
This is only the beginning, really.
It's become like, if you played the South Park game, they have the PC principle, and if whenever somebody says microaggression, he punches them. It's just become like that. It's just become like that with fucking companies. People, they say microtransaction, people go over there and they're like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because before it wasn't as bad, but now it's just kind of like
Before
It's getting ridiculous. Yeah.
Before it was like
it's just
League
loot
of
boxes,
Legends
like ordinary loot boxes,
Yeah.
things like that. Stuff like you didn't have to, just like aesthetic, just like
I mean,
oh, okay,
loot
it's
boxes
whatever.
have been around for a very
scale.
long
Yeah,
time.
so it was
but
really small scale, but it was all cosmetic. It didn't really like
before it
wasn't something you
was
have to have.
microtransactions before were loot boxes from CS:GO. So
and then they
cosmetics.
moved on to. Did TF2 have them before?
TF
TF2 was the beginning of the end.
TF2 had like free ones.
No.
I don't
You still had
remember.
to pay for keys to open them.
I don't
And
remember
the thing
that.
was, TF2, the items actually affect the gameplay too.
I don't
Really?
remember that because TF2 was always just kind of it was free to play, so I don't mind that.
It
And
didn't used to be free to play. You used to have to buy it.
It's free to play now. Who cares? Two, it's
There's still limitations if you're free to
It was-
play, but if you own the game, you
it
get
was a
some
minor
most,
game.
but
Like there weren't like competitions for it or anything. So, as far as I know.
there was a pro scene. I know that.
And
I don't know
besides
too much
that,
about
the other
Pro Scene, but I know there was
microtransaction things were League and Dota, and those were fine because they were like $5 things. You didn't need them.
Yeah, cosmetics, just
Yeah.
like there if you want.
Well, in League, can't you pay for characters?
You can, but now they give away shards for free, so you can get them whenever.
so it balances out.
Yeah, like you could get them for free. You didn't have to buy them.
So basically, what you're saying is you're justifying microtransactions.
For free to play games, yes.
So you're like, yeah, microtransactions. CS:GO
Free to
is a
play
game.
games that have
there
them
are,
with
Well, I
like
mean,
low
microtransactions in some sense it's fine because
Yeah.
it's like as long as it doesn't impact the game to the point where it's like I can't win unless I get this, or I'm gonna have such a difficult time unless I get this, where it pressures you, then like it's fine, like whatever.
And in League, it was like if somebody chose the newest champion on the enemy team, you couldn't choose them anyways. So it's kind of like okay. So you didn't have to buy the new champions to have an edge in the game. You could, but chances were you get two games to play it.
And then there's
Yeah.
games like Final Fantasy 14 where you've got microtransactions, but that only like changes.
Where you get the fucking
Cosmetically.
double riding chocobo.
But yeah, that only like changes cosmetically.
Yeah.
Your looks and stuff like that. Which I mean, in a sense of like aesthetic and whatnot, that's pretty cool. But if it's just for gameplay and stuff, it's boring, dull, I guess. But
wouldn't
then
even
you've
say
got cases
boring,
like
dull, I would
DLC,
Feels cheap.
which is kind of like the same thing.
It depends on the
kind
I
of.
DLC.
would put yeah, it depends.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because there were a couple of games where it had like little $3 DLCs, and it was just kind of like
Why?
Borderlands 2. That was the worst.
Yeah.
Where it had all of so they come out with all of the you get the Game of the Year edition. It comes with most of the DLC. It doesn't come with one of the upgrade packs. And then after they release a bunch of $3 DLCs where it's like, here's a really short level, and it's just
The only dollar DLCs I know of are JRPGs for outfits. So it's just kind
And
of
it sucks
like
even more because it's just like you're for what you're paying, you're not getting enough.
yeah.
It's just like not enough. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It's only 33 cents an hour for video
Nier
games.
Automata.
So
$13.79 DLC. Weirdest pricing ever.
What?
Yeah, it's like $13.79, and everybody's just kind of like, what the fuck?
Why?
Don't question it. But yeah, it's like
has no relation to what we're talking about whatsoever. But
Well, I mean,
Just
we're
a
talking
side
about
note.
pricing.
Yeah.
Bro, side note.
just
Yeah.
I had to bring up Nier.
Hell yeah.
The second
For the meme.
the second he could possibly like wiggle something out of there.
For the meme.
All right, moving on.
Moving on. So now we can talk about Valve. Sorry.
Val.
Jesus.
Hell yeah.
Valve.
It's weird as hell.
Yet again,
Moving
still
on.
on their crusade to tackle feedback on Steam and the games and stuff like that. So now their new way is that they're going to now weigh the options for your reviews of the game. So basically, if you're somebody who I guess, I don't know how they're going to track this, but I guess if you're someone who clearly rates a lot, your review won't count as much.
No, your rating on reviews isn't going to count as much.
Yeah, your rating on the review doesn't count as much. And then they'll also be counting, it's really hard to explain because it's, the example that they posed was like, so if the game gets 80% positive, then they'll show 80% positive reviews and 20% negative reviews, which I don't know, to me that just like makes like no sense. I feel like that again skews the game because it just is like, oh, I see all these positive reviews and it's 80%.
But then you have some of the...
maybe I'll try it out, but then it's like...
Well, then you've also got like some of the reviews that are like joke reviews, like...
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the part where I'm like, I still feel like that doesn't counteract anything because it could still be spammed with all these positive things and the game is still garbage.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't No Man's Sky like... No, No Man's Sky has like negative reviews.
Yeah, for the most
It
part.
was mixed, not negative. Well, actually, if you go on the store page, it was all like negative, but it said mixed at the top. So what they're probably going to do, the whole idea for this is so that it doesn't look as...
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
So it's basically...
But then you've got an
going
option to like choose what you like, what specific kind of review you want to see.
Which is what I do.
But most
Sorta,
people will.
but- and you
What
can do
most
that
people are
anyway.
gonna do
Yeah.
is just gonna see what's on that front part and just be like, just scroll through what's there
I
first
think
in
what
their
it's-
face first.
What it's more going to do is it's going to counteract things like, this isn't for a meme, okay? This isn't for a meme about Nier. Games like that where it's ported badly on the PC, but the thing was that people whose computer couldn't run it, so people who were running it off of my laptop, would go on there and be like, this game is terrible, I can't play it, this is awful. I think it's going to help sort out those. But at the same time, it's probably going to...
But that's not the process in which they're saying
that's
that
not
they're
what they're
doing
doing
it.
it.
They're not saying like, oh, we're gonna go in and see what they're saying. They're just saying like, if you're a person who goes in and just puts like dummy comments all the time, like then they'll say, okay, yeah you're getting downshifted to the bottom.
Yeah.
But what they're saying is like, if the game is rating itself, that's what they're basing it off of, the game rating itself.
No, it was user reviews. The percentage of user reviews.
Yeah.
So it's not really the game rating itself, it's more...
If the review is helpful or not. Kind
But
of.
that's what their purpose is to make the reviews more helpful.
Yeah. So they have user-generated reviews, and then the users are going to... Well, what they have now is supposed to have users generate which ones are the most helpful reviews. And sometimes the issue that they're having with it is that sometimes you'll have like you could have like a very positive rated game, and have the top view or rated review be a negative comment. So it doesn't make sense. So they're trying to fix that.
There's a lot of things that don't make sense.
Yeah, the biggest issue that they named was bots going in and just randomly checking reviews as helpful, which honestly confuses me. But
Why people would make that?
why would you make a bot that just checks random reviews? Because some of the reviews that you see at the top are just kind of like...
Okay.
Yeah, you get something like K. It's just kind of like, how is this useful to anybody? Like, why would you promote K? Why?
To bury any negative ones.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
So they go in, find stupid ones to bury the really bad ones.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
I don't know.
Either way, it's probably going to be good. It might be bad, and you never know until it comes out.
I guess I don't know. I think
I see it
Only
as a
time will
huge
it's gonna be a
improvement.
little.
I see it as a huge improvement, but I feel like there's going to be like some really
Some-
dumb bug.
Some hole there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just very open for there to be some loophole in there. That's just gonna
Not a
like,
loophole,
meh.
just a dumb bug where it just like might freak out and put really stupid comments as the review. Just things like that.
I guess we'll see.
It's
Yeah.
not supposed to be a community, like a community,
Helper.
sort of community moderator kind of thing. Because
Yeah.
basically it's going to... Think of it as like a point system where you post, you click 39 reviews as helpful, Tony clicks 2. and I click 1500. So my click means practically nothing. Your click means something, and his click means more.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's basically what they're
Yeah.
going for.
That in of itself seems a little weird.
I like it.
It's trying to get rid of the botters, so
Yeah. It'll
it
just
does
be
sound
hard.
a little weird.
Yeah, because it's like, it's hard to tell what's
Botters.
the difference between the bot. I guess the bots will be like an insane amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus like somebody
Like
who's just like,
if someone
what constitutes as their insane amount?
Probably like something
They
over
named
like 1,000.
1500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which will bots will definitely
And
exceed.
then there'll be that one
Yeah.
person on Reddit. Oh no, I'm at the bottom now. 'Cause they
Well, I mean,
genuinely
they
go
probably-
out. They
how would-
genuinely
I don't
go out and
understand.
like play these games and
sucks to
actually
be
do
them.
rate them. Yeah,
Well, my thing is, how would they even know?
exactly.
You don't
Yeah,
know
exactly.
how
They don't
much
know.
your thing is weighted. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Unless it dings you or something. I don't know. They didn't say like what.
I
How you
would
would
love
know.
it. I would love it
Well, you
if it
probably
dinged
won't
you
know.
and was like, your clicks mean nothing.
Yeah, those reviews you thought were helpful, they're not.
You reviewed too many games, so
Yeah.
you're at the bottom now.
Reviewed too many reviews, really.
Reviewed too many reviews.
Review.
That's what it is.
I'm a
many
review
reviews.
reviewer.
Yes, that's what the system is.
Reviewing the review. Can we make that the title of our
I mean, it's not
channel?
gonna get any views.
Yo, Dylan, let's make that the title of our
Let's-
channel.
let's
Dylan's just
not.
going to say no, winky face. Oh.
No. Let's
So,
not. But yeah. So anyway, so part of our new section, Too Little Too Late, H1Z1 released a new map in a new game mode, and yeah, basically what it sounded like when I read the article was like they're trying to revive their game from the depths.
What, H1Z1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still alive?
Yeah.
yeah, Frenchie plays it all the time.
The fuck?
Probably.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was like
Just
H1Z1
feel like-
and then Battlegrounds came out and it was like.
Remember when DayZ was a thing? Remember when that was like super popular? DayZ?
DayZ's
Yeah.
still a thing. It's
Yeah.
still super
But I mean-
popular.
But it's now like a cult game in a way.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cult.
It's more like a game people go on to play, like, maybe binge for a week and then they get off.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like a new map isn't going to save the
No.
god awful gunplay in that game.
No.
Yeah.
Like, the difference between that game and PUBG is that when I shoot somebody, it's like, I got him, I did it. In H1Z1, if I shoot somebody, they'll just duck behind a tree and then pop back out, and they've got full health now, and it's just kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
So I shot you with an
Well,
AK.
maybe they'll
and,
fix that eventually. Like if they
They're not
come
gonna fix
back,
that.
if they
I don't
come
think
back
they're-
alive and they get more money and
No.
shit, they
I
might
don't
fix
think.
it.
I think the
You
new
never
mode
know.
is gonna generate some people to just be like, oh, I guess I'll go back and try it, and
Yeah.
then back to PUBG,
New mode, and if it goes on
Pretty much.
sale,
back to PUBG or Fortnite, because that's weirdly enough rising a lot on YouTube. Fortnite.
Well, yeah, Fortnite is free to play, so it's a much more
Yeah,
accessible
free to
game.
play, and
It's-
it aesthetically wise, it looks like more engaging
Aesthetically-
for like younger audiences.
aesthetically it's more fun. That's
Yeah.
how I'm going to say it. And,
I mean, let's be honest, PUBG is not the most beautiful game I've ever
No.
played.
But it's built more to be more like
Realistic.
these are people and this.
yeah,
is
but
life.
even then, it's an ugly game.
yeah, it is.
Yeah,
yeah.
just
But
graphically.
another thing about Fortnite is that there's a lot of more fun stuff you can do. Like in PUBG, PUBG is more about the stress and more about the tension of surviving.
And you can make your own fun in PUBG, but the
Yeah.
difference is that Fortnite has a lot more options.
Funniest thing I
Yeah.
saw for PUBG was a guy would just sit in a bathroom, camp there, wait for someone to just walk in, yell into the mic, "This is my bathroom, get out," and leave. And then just sit there the rest of the time, like he'd let himself die to it too. Like this stupid
My
stuff like that.
my
that's fun,
favorite
but-
PUBG story is I was playing like in a squad with my friends, and they were just sitting in a bush. And we're just like, we're just sitting here. No, just put your guns away. We're just gonna sit here. And then there ended up being like one other guy at the end, and my friend just whipped out a Max 10 and she shot him. It was just, like, and it was just kind of like, we just sat in a bush all game. We didn't even do anything. Like, how did we win?
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of little dumb things that you can do in that game.
I think the one
Counteract
disadvantage
that
I think
shit.
is like you have to kind of play in a team. You can't go by yourself.
No, you can
You
play
could
solo.
go by
play solo.
yourself.
The way
You can play
no,
solo.
the great
but I'm
thing
saying it's
about
just weird.
the way
It's
that
more
PUBG is
stealth.
done is. Have you played PUBG? Tim?
No, but like just playing it by
Have to.
yourself, you have to be pretty stealthful.
Stealthy.
Depends
You
on
have
who
to
you
be.
are. Depends on who you
Stealthful.
are. Most people
Don't fucking correct
don't
me.
enjoy solo because it is mostly ambushes and stuff. But
Yeah. It's more team based. Not in it. It's not like the game was built that way. It just
I can
is.
play with me, myself, and I. Okay, that's my team.
no, but I enjoy solo a bit more sometimes. Depends on like the mood I'm in because the way I play solo versus the way I play on a team is completely different. If I'm on a team, it's like, all right, everybody, let's do our thing, wander around, get stuff. But if I'm playing solo, I play it more safe, where I'm just kind of like, this is my rock. I'm just gonna sit here because this is my rock.
You kind of have to be because like
Yeah.
you have no choice. Otherwise, you're gonna be outgunned by every other team.
There are no other. No. When you play solo, everybody else is a solo player.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do
not-
solo in a
That's
team,
what I was
but
wondering.
Yeah, you could disadvantage yourself if you want.
that'd be fun, honestly.
That is an option. But
That
That
would
sounds
be
like it
pretty
would be
cool.
really fun.
and I've seen some.
Probably would be.
I think one of the greatest YouTube videos I've ever seen was a lone guy who's playing by himself. He solo queued into the four-mans, and he hops in this car and just sits there. And the entire enemy team hops into the car with him, and he's just kind of like shoots
I was just-
everybody. It was pretty funny.
I've seen gameplay where they just like picked up like a random like guy and they're just like, "Hey guy, what's up?" And they he had his mic on too, and they're just like, "What's going on?" So then like they teamed up to the end, and then they were like, "All right,
Bye.
so who's gonna win here?"
Yeah.
And then they just kind of just did it fair. They were like, "All right, whoever wins wins," and it's cool.
Yeah.
But H1Z1's not gonna rise back.
Nope.
No, I think it's too far buried. There's too many clones now. It's just kind of like,
It's not even the clones. It's the
yeah.
clones are just better.
Yeah. I'm saying like at the time when it was like H1Z1 and then PUBG came out, which completely like swept it underneath the rug.
Yeah.
And then, but now it's way too many clones now. And then it's just like, so there's no way they'd have to, I don't know, completely.
Does Rust have a battle royale mode?
No, you can
No,
you can
it's
make
they'd
it
have
so
to
that it's like it.
Yeah.
completely change the game in some major way.
No, I think because it's
for
like
them to
separate
rouse it
servers
up.
and you can own your own server,
Yeah.
people have cloned it like that,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
that's for that specific server. They could easily
I think
make a
they just
game
have
mode
to,
like
like,
that, but
Abandon it, maybe make an H1Z1 too. Start
There's
over
probably
from
like
scratch,
a
new
Gary's
game,
mod
something.
server.
See, the
That's
thing
clone
about
to
it-
H1Z1.
There is. I've played it.
Is it any good?
It's pretty awful. Moving on. But yeah, the problem with H1Z1 is that the guy who they consulted the guy who made PUBG. So like, what are you gonna do with an H1Z1 too?
Yeah.
Hey, we couldn't make
they're
a game
gonna
quite
make
as good as yours.
H2Z2.
H2Z3.
H3.
Slowly but surely then morphs. And everyone plays as Ethan Klein.
Oh man. So
Or you either play solo as Ela or Ethan, or you play in a pair as both of them.
Oh my god.
And it's just the soundboard of their reactions every time.
You
Someone make
you
it
throw
happen.
a smoke grenade.
Yeah.
420 every day.
That'd be great. Somebody mod that, please.
That's
Someone make a mod.
Please.
Make a server just for H3. Just mod the whole thing.
That'd be pretty
so
fun.
great.
I'm
It
pretty
would be.
sure.
That'd be so hilarious.
If they
Heyday.
made that, it would come back.
Yeah. It might make a rise.
No, I'm pretty sure Payday has been talking about putting them in the game for a very long time.
Ooh, H3,
So
H3?
yeah, they had some deal with them where they were talking about putting them in the game. They've got
They
the
were,
stupid beanies in the game
they
already.
were streaming it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
pretty cool.
they're talking about putting them in the game, and it's pretty much as soon as that happens, you know it's going to be ported over to
Oh,
Gmod.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we can make it a thing, guys.
So,
It can happen.
I don't know. I think the art style would be better for Fortnite though, because they could really do a
La
really
Fupa.
hilarious style of H3 and Ela. Like, in
Have you guys
Fortnite.
seen the riding the pumpkin rockets thing yet?
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
amazing.
great.
It is
So
amazing.
they added a new Halloween rocket. Well, not new, but they added a Halloween rocket launcher which launches. The rockets are pumpkins.
Yeah.
And if they launch it at like the right angle, the person can ride the pumpkin. it's gonna explode, of course. But yeah, I've
it's
seen
like when you're in
people.
trials and like you press triangle and you eject off. It doesn't help you, but
No,
still
people
good.
have used it to great effect because it doesn't necessarily kill you.
Oh, it just downs
But-
you.
It doesn't even necessarily do that. If you time it right, you can just have it blow up and do damage, but you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
So I watched a guy jump off of the rocket after he had got launched at somebody's base that they had built, and then kill the entire enemy team, and it's just kind of like.
What?
It's pretty insane. Yeah.
Yeah, people have used it as a legit strat. So like, it's insane.
What do they do?
Imagine the first person who
Listen,
figured it out. Like that be the first person who's just like, I'm just gonna try this.
It probably
It's
wasn't
probably
even
an accident.
that.
It probably was
Yeah.
just like an accident.
He probably got shot out, was like, oh shit, then started writing it and was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Tony, anytime you find a stupid bug like that, people will use it
Oh yeah.
to their
Yeah,
advantage.
yeah.
So
Oh, it's the rise of the team multiplayer.
How does that even
Rise
work?
of the bugs.
Yeah.
It's gonna be,
All right.
gonna be Starship Troopers.
Awkward silence.
Dude, I love Starship Troopers. That's a
I feel
great
like that's
movie.
all Payday is, though. Just
What?
finding a bug and just abusing it. Dear Overkill, please make your games better.
Or not, because people enjoy it.
Please make
Bad
more
bugs.
shitty bugged games so we can have fun.
Pretty much.
Oh.
Pretty much.
I love
Probably a
shitty
game
bugs.
out there where somebody just like purposefully put bugs in it and like it's your job to find them.
I mean,
Somewhere out
Easter
there.
eggs.
I mean, I feel like that's
But
all
that-
Gary's
but
mind is.
It's not
Like-
an Easter egg. Like it's not. Bugs are not Easter eggs because it's
Yeah.
like bugs are not intentional.
Some of them could be. Where they could have like just fixed it, but they were like, fuck them. They can do it. They can
No.
find it.
That was a Hitman thing. Somebody had notes. They had notes of where to put in descriptions on items. Somebody messed up and didn't notice a note, so it was like, Dan, put description here. Completely forgot about it. It's in the actual game.
That's good.
So it became a running joke where they had like, still no note here, still no description.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Because people do that. I feel like the good thing about bugs is like you make fun of the game devs for doing it, but like that's like a normal real life thing. Like where
Yeah.
you just like you're doing a project and you just forget. You're like, oh dang, I definitely should have took that
Oblivion.
out. It's fine.
yeah.
Oblivion with the, oh wait, let me do that again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jesus. That was
Have you not heard
I
that?
don't know.
terrible.
One of the voice lines.
Still not as bad as Chaos. something.
No. Let's
Chaos
not
Wars.
Yeah.
Can't wait to play that. Anyways, no, what happened was they were doing a line, and the lady who was doing the line, they forgot to take out one part where she says the line, and then she's like, oh wait, let me do that again, and then says the line again. Like, it's an entire minute voice clip.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
Yeah,
quality.
that's pretty great.
That's good. But like in games like that shows you how much production they do put into
Yeah.
it though, because it's just like,
They have to
definitely
edit like
skipped over.
thousands of voice
Yeah,
lines.
so
Yeah.
it's just like going back and like remembering that one little thing. It sucks. But yeah, that's all the topics. Is
Yeah.
there anything else? Tony?
Incredibles 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Since we
But
can add
Max
it as
hasn't
like a
seen
little
the-
positional
Never
thing.
saw the trailer.
It's so
It's
good.
literally 2 seconds. It's literally
Yeah.
Jack comes through like an invisible red wall, and then he sees
I
the
am
logo. He uses his red beams of
fucking-
light, turns on the eye, and then
I have
show
waited
him.
for so long.
They show Mr. Incredible holding Jack, and then he's like freaking out.
You
with
have
the cars,
powers! And then
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah, and that's
uses all
it.
his
It's like
powers.
literally like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
50, 40 something.
Yeah.
I mean, the hype
Not
is
even.
more
So
that
what-
From
30.
2 seconds to 30 seconds to
It's like
54
30 seconds.
Okay.
it's like a
It's
minute.
30.
Okay.
It's like 2
Something like
minutes. It's like an hour.
It's the whole. You missed it.
I mean, the hype there isn't really the teaser. The hype there is more that they're making.
I've waited for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much. If you're not 20 years old, don't come to the movie.
Yeah.
I've seen that so many times. People are like, if you're not at least 20 years old, do not come to the
If
movie.
you're not 20,
Like,
fuck off.
don't
I need
come-
my seat.
Yeah,
I need
don't
my
come
front
to
row
opening
seat.
week. Do not come to opening week, like, because you don't know what the movie is about.
If
like,
you weren't born when this came out the first time, then go
Yeah.
fuck yourself.
I seen someone saying they're like, oh my god, I was 5 when this came out. I'm so excited. I was like, do you even remember the
Yeah.
Do you even remember watching it? like you don't
Oh my
know.
God. I was in my mother's womb when this came out. I can't wait.
It's like you don't know. Like
Look, man, I'm still bringing my baby sister to watch it.
super-
Oh yeah, they can understand that.
the super suit scene is
The
iconic.
super suit.
It really is.
Yeah.
That is so. It's just such a good movie.
Where
Okay.
is my super suit?
Why do you need to know? I love it. It's so good. It's such a quality like scene because it's just so random. Like I wish I could have been there when they were like, all right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna have this scene where he's trying to find his super suit and his wife is going off about how he don't need it. Like
There's fighting on the background.
yeah, like
You see, like, the
Yeah.
city get destroyed in the background. It was so
I
great.
feel like maybe it's one of those scenes where they just were like ad-libbing and they're just going and they're like, oh, we have to add this. Like this has to be in here. Like it's gotta be so good.
I could see that.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Dude, so am
There's
I.
actually a lot of good trailers. Maybe next episode we can go over some trailers and stuff. There's a lot of good trailers that just came out.
Yeah.
stuff,
Like what?
New stuff. That new Quentin Tarantino. Yes,
Sounds
he made
familiar.
that one. The Shape of Water.
Oh.
It's like this lady kind of falls in love with
There's
this weird,
more.
Yeah.
I can't
water
name
thing.
them. I've been.
Yeah, I have to look over it.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of good stuff that looks like it's coming out. So.
There's just been a lot of trailers coming out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's that time, guys.
I got the
end
notifications
of
on
the
my
year,
phone
too.
because for some reason IMDb has notifications now.
What?
That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
When did you even sign up for that?
I did. They just turned them on by themselves and was like, here's film stuff.
Alright, cool. So check that out. Next podcast. So we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much for making it to this point. If you watched all the way through. If not, that's okay.
Fuck
You
Zelda.
skip to the end.
Good times. Good times, Max. Good times. Make sure you leave a comment down below for any topics that you
Not
would
if you
like
can
us
finish.
to go over.
What?
Oh, actually, no.
Then finish.
We have to say what we're thankful for. A fan actually wanted us to say that, I think.
Oh, really?
Things.
Not Zelda. No.
So, with Thanksgiving being on Thursday, obviously maybe we'll have this episode up on Thursday. Probably not. But we're not recording on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving. So, Tony, what are you thankful for? We can go.
Can we
this way.
pass?
No, Tony, go. Anything.
Hold on.
Breathing,
Man.
living. I don't know.
Man, I am thankful for you guys. You know, you guys are like my besties.
You have to be the one fucking douchebag that goes with a
Just put like a
sentimental thing and
heart
makes everybody
around.
look bad.
Put a heart around my my body and just. I love you guys.
You have to be that one asshole.
I love
There's
you.
always that one asshole who says that.
Anyway, Max.
I'm thankful for the fans. You guys are great.
Really? You're gonna be the other asshole?
Keep it going. Alright, Valentine.
You didn't even let me
Fuck
finish.
all of you.
Oh Jesus
What are you
Christ!
thankful for?
Yoko Taro. I mean,
I wasn't
Something.
even allowed to finish. It was
Then
just
finish.
the fans.
Wait, I thought
you got-
that was it. See, Max, you
Thankful
always
for the
do same
fans.
thing. Max has this weird tendency where he says a statement and then like you think that's the end, but he's like, no, I was gonna keep going. But you said it like with finality, like.
He's thankful
Go ahead.
for little
We'll go
baby
back.
Jesus.
Little baby Jesus.
Yeah, little baby Jesus.
Thankful for Big Papa Jesus too.
What's wrong with little baby Jesus?
I said Big Papa Jesus too.
He can be in our Bar Brawler children game.
don't forget Big Papa John.
No,
No.
not Big Papa. No. Nobody cares
Anyway,
about
Max,
Big Papa
are you
John.
done?
I'm done now. You guys killed me.
Well, what else were you gonna say?
Don't worry about it.
I am gonna worry about it. I'm gonna cry
He's
to
gonna
my.
say EA.
I'm gonna cry to my like 10
Yeah, I'm thankful
cats.
thankful for the fans because you stuck at the EA. You guys are great.
I would say that, yeah. But fuck that.
What are you
Taro.
thankful for?
Not
You
my
didn't get
fans,
to
the
go.
fans of Star Wars
Oh, so many
Battlefront.
people
You know.
would skip me. Alright. So we're gonna end the podcast there.
No. What are you
I'm
thankful
kidding.
for?
I'm kidding.
I'm thankful that this podcast is almost over.
I don't know. I'm thankful for having something to do on Tuesday nights. Just hang out with you guys.
Besides sleep.
Oh, I feel so loved.
And work.
Psych. I already know that's fake. No.
So, thank you for watching the podcast. You make sure you leave a comment down below for any topics, news, whatever. You can always link us news if you also want us to talk about that as well. I think we've never probably said that ever, but you can.
We have.
Check down into the description. We leave our Twitter, Discord, Facebook, and our iTunes link will also be in there. So if you just don't want to watch these and you just want to listen, you can go on iTunes and check us out.
If you think we're ugly, you can just listen to us.
I don't think you're ugly.
Anyway.
We're not going to judge you. Or care.
Anyway.
I will care. I will cry if you don't see our
8 or 9.
faces.
We stream every Tuesday, 8 or 9 o'clock.
What do we stream?
Games.
No, we stream 1 hour of Tony looking into the camera, not saying anything. That's what we do every time. Check that out.
Yeah.
It's really great. Real good content. But, so yeah.
Do we have a plan for next week?
No. No idea.
Good. Oh wait, maybe Mario Paint if his pen comes in.
Yeah, we'll probably do Mario Paint, or we'll stream anything that you guys want us to stream. Because we love you guys. So,
Tell me. You're busy
what is happening
in my
over here?
personal
What is
space.
happening?
Like,
I would like to
Alright,
wrap
I'm
this
done
up.
by.
But thank you so much for
Stay
checking us
on-
out. Make sure you
no.
like, subscribe for more content. And, yeah, if you guys ever want to chat with us, hit
if
up
you
our
would like to
Discord.
watch the fight that is going to ensue
Oh,
after
God.
this,
Okay, we're going to have a private fight of Max and Tony. And
Fight
if you give
in
us
bed
a bunch of likes,
with no
maybe
clothes.
we'll...
Be an MMA.
Alright, we'll wrap it there. Thank you so much, and goodbye.